AskReddit. What is the one instance where you screwed it up with a crush that you still dwell on to this day? Was hanging out in spring, and I had a little bit of hay fever. At one point we just stared into each other's eye and I sneezed all over her face, like there was snot on her. I had a crush on this person for several years, but never made a move. One day we ran into one another in a cafe, and after saying hi they looked straight into my eyes and said, "Hey, how come you and I have never gotten together?" For some reason, out of nervousness and surprise, I just said I dunno, grabbed my drink and left. To this day I don't know if they thought it was sarcasm or just gave up thinking it wasn't worth pursuing someone so brusque and oblivious as me. This was in high school. I sat behind him and had the feeling all day long he was gonna ask me out. Plus some of my female classmates told me they heard from their friends of friends of friends that he would, in whatever period it was this incident happened in. Anyway, he turned around when the bell rang, and out of nervousness I blurted out, "Turn back the fuck around," and he did, and never turned back around. I can laugh about it now, but at the time, nobody asked me out, not even for prom. He was a well-liked guy, so others sided with him and called me all sorts of names, haha. I actually got together with her. She was a bit more grown than me, and I was embarrassed about my Star Wars posters and other child stuff in my room. So I never invited her to my home, and she got that wrong and broke up. She thought I was embarrassed of her and didn't want my parents to get to know her. I regret everything. Age 11. Birthday party, summer crush and pinata time. She spun me around and put the blindfold on me. You can guess what happened next. The pinata was about to receive a samurai-worthy strike from heaven itself. And when the blindfold came off, there was blood everywhere. I had struck her on the head. I was honestly traumatized. Never mind her. I forgot about it until 20 years later my brother brought it up. In my mind, it was he who struck her in the head, not me. My mind had developed a reality where it did not accept I had done it, and I had to ask other family members to confirm this, to make sure he wasn't just fucking with me. I almost got nudes. It wasn't a fuck up in terms of winning her over, but still a fuck up nonetheless. We'd already admitted our attraction to each other by this point, and we're around 1516. I was 15, she was 16. She was definitely trying to send me nudes. She had talked about how the idea of it seemed sexy to her, and I thought she was just kinda spitballing. Ick now, shooting the breeze with her all romantic buddy about how much she wants to send somebody intimate photos of her naked body, like ya do. She sends me a Snapchat. She'd just gotten out of the shower. She's glistening. She's well endowed, and she's holding her torso towel fucking millimeters above her nips, and she's pressing her boobs up and against her chest with the arm that's holding up the towel. Caption: I just got out of the shower. My response: raising my slice of pizza that I was eating, as if to say cheers. Cool. I didn't. She did not respond, and our relationship ended due to unrelated reasons a month or two later. We never so much as kissed. I kissed my crush 3 times when I was 12 as we were BFFs, and a conversation came up about who we had kissed, and I had asked her if she would kiss me, and she said she would. So we went behind our local school and kissed. We kissed twice on different occasions after. Before this I had never kissed anyone before. She stopped talking to me after the 3rd. She was getting bullied at school because of it, as I'm ugly AF. I basically fucked it up because I was ugly. Other kids are evil. That's true. My first crush went to prom with me, and late that night or morning, when I was dropping her off, she kept asking if I wanted to go in and watch a movie, and that her parents were away for the weekend. I kept telling her it was late, but she kept insisting. Anyways, I told her it was late, and I was tired. I still cringe at that moment. Whenever I'm back home now, and my old high school friends and I meet up, they still give me shit for it. So, we were having a conversation about what we like to do on weekends, or whenever we have free time. Crush: I'm into paranormal things, and you? Me: great, I'm into ghosting too. End of the story. I had a girl I was fucking asked if I wanted to have a threesome with her and her best friend. Her friend was hotter, and I said yeah. And she immediately took it back, like she offered me heaven, then told me no. I still can't believe it. Crush invited himself over, we hit it off, and talked for 5 hours straight. He then asked if he could sleep over. My bedroom was literally so messy that I couldn't have anyone in. I was in the middle of moving a lot of stuff out of my place. Boxes on boxes everywhere, used clothes and random objects all over my bed. So I said my room was too messy and booked him an Uber home. I realize how this may have sounded like a fake excuse slash that I wasn't interested. Hahaha. I was 13 and walking with my crush in the hallway with my crush, and in the stir of the moment I asked her for a hug. Then I stupidly said I would punch her if I didn't. I don't know why I said that. It was an impulse and I still think about it a lot. I wouldn't have even punched her if she said no. Oh, so many things. The best one was at a bar, see a guy, super hot, 100% my type. Start flirting with him. Everything is going well, and out of nowhere, I start telling him that I had sex with several guys last week. The thing is I didn't have sex at all, and I have no idea why my brain thought that it's an appropriate way of flirting. But that's just what I do when I get awkward. I think I was around 16. And she basically invited me to hang out after school and I refused, just because she was my best friend's sister. She was 14 at that time, and to this day I still wonder if my friend would have said anything against me hanging out with her. I'd invited a girl that I really liked to a high school dance with me, and was really surprised when she said yes. I suddenly felt super self-conscious around her, and decided that the best way to deal with that was to completely ignore her until the night of the dance a month later. I was truly surprised to find out that she didn't want to dance with or spend any time with me anymore. I've told this story before, but when I was about 8 years old we took a field trip to the Field Museum here in Chicago. During our lunch break I decided to wander off to the gift shop and see what they had. I had a huge crush on this girl named Victoria in my class, and I saw this ladybug ring for a couple of dollars. I knew she liked ladybugs, and I had money my parents gave me to buy something at the shop, so I decided to buy the ring and give it to her. I was really nervous and kept waiting for the right time to do it. I eventually decided to just go for it and walked up to her near the end of the trip. She was with some of her friends, which made me more nervous, but I found the courage to do it. She looked at the ring and laughed. Her friends joined her, and she then tossed the ring in the trash. I was completely devastated and tried hard to hold back my tears. Even though I'm over it now, that completely fucked my confidence with girls for a long time. Looking back, I may have embarrassed her too, giving it to her in front of her friends, which is why she reacted that way, but whatever the case, it's probably the most embarrassed I have been in my life. I was somehow convinced by my friends that I should call him and asked if he has a crush on anyone. He laughed and hung up. Yeah, I don't think I'll forget that for a long time. My crush was madly fond of me. What did I do? Hung out with many other girls that were no good for me, and she moved back to Korea. Now I'm the owner of a weird relationship where we don't talk for a period of time, and when we do it's like we genuinely care about each other, but really don't. Saw her in class, chatted it up with her, got her number. Didn't want to mess up texting, so watched YouTube videos on how to text / pick up a girl. Big mistake. Sent the cringiest texts and innuendos. If I had just been myself I probably would've had a chance. Met a girl and hit it off like never before. Sparks flew. We met because I taught her and a few of her friends karate. The four of us, 2 meters 2F, decided to hang out one day, but the other two bailed, and it ended up just being me and this girl. After the most magical afternoon of doing absolutely nothing and having a great time, she said I could dare her to do anything if I did a backflip from hanging on the monkey bars. I did, awkwardly. I then used my one dare to have her to close her eyes while we sat side by side on a nearby bench. Then I didn't kiss her. My 9th grade crush and I had lockers right next to each other and back-to-back classes together. So we would always leave class, go to our lockers, and then walk to the next class together. As I tried to flirt more as the school year went on and asked her friend for advice, she started getting a little distant until one day I literally just blurted out something along the lines of, "You know I don't have a crush on you, right?" To this day, I can't explain it, but I think about it weekly.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to be entered into our iMac giveaway.